And if you guys need some additional services, please keep in mind we do have the ability for you to jump into my one-on-one mentorship in addition to the one-on-one calls for me. And then we have the free school community. And don't forget about business in a box. If in fact you guys need a business that built from the ground up that puts you in position for business funding and personal credit funding, you can reach out to us or you can click on the link in my bio to get to that information. All right. If you got any questions about that, feel free to ask us before we close out on the call tonight. Joe, the floor is all yours.
And
All
Joe,
right, thank you, Juan.
Joe, right before you take over, just one more thing. Everybody, if you know a friend or family member right now, share them the Zoom link right now. Tell them to jump on. This is life-changing information, okay? Share it to at least 3 people right now while we going. All right, Joe, it's you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Wanzo, for inviting me on your program. It's definitely an honor. I'm Residual Joe. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been in the consumer law space since about 2017. And a long story short, my story, I started off doing credit repair, funding, helping a lot of my family and friends get money. Where a lot of you guys are right now. The difference is, I think back then is I helped them get all this money, but they weren't properly educated. And because of that, they were negligent in how they spent their money. So because they were negligent of how they spent their money, they came back to me and said, "Hey, Joe, I know I got this money, but I blew it all. Now, what do I do?" What do you do when you get 100,000 and you really don't have a game plan and you run through it? Now you're being sued. So I learned from a consumer attorney years ago, and I've won over 25 cases in federal court without the use of an attorney. That means my own pen and pad. I've helped guide over 25 people with cases won in federal court. As everybody knows, federal court is the highest standard of litigation. So tonight here, I'm going to give you guys some tips, tricks, strategies to help you guys maybe even put some money in your pocket tonight. So we're going to get started. If you have a smartphone, I want you to type the word debt in your message bar. Let's go to your message bar and type the word debt. If you have the word debt pop up, somebody just drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know. We might have a winner tonight. When you type the word debt in your search bar, if there's a debt collector in there or someone attempting to collect the debt, it might look something like, let me pull up an image for you. It might look something like this. We call this low-hanging fruit. Now, when a debt collector texts you or emails you, and you respond back with the word, "I refuse to pay the debt," and they attempt to collect, that's a violation. Anybody let me know if you have a debt collector in your search bar right now, because you might have a case right now. You don't even know it. So respond back with this phrase, "I refuse to pay the debt." If they attempt to collect, that's a violation. We can sue in federal court, and you can get the debt legally waived, discharged, and or a settlement. If you have an email, it's the same concept. You type the word, "I refuse to pay the debt." If they respond back, that's considered a violation. Why is it a violation? We're going to go through this really fast, so y'all pay attention. We're in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or we in Cornell law. We're under 15 USC 1692C. Somebody write that in the chat for everybody who might be driving. See. And we're going to subsection C. If a consumer notifies a debt collector in writing that a consumer refuses to pay the debt, or they wish the consumer to cease communication, they should stop. What does that mean in a nutshell? If you send to a debt collector that they refuse to pay the debt, it means stop. But since everything is coded, we don't want to say stop. We want to say, I refuse to pay the debt. Why? Because we want to capture a violation. A violation can get us paid. A violation can get us money. Okay? Drop a one in the chat if you follow me so far. Cool. Now, if you reply with the word stop, go in there and reply with the word start over or start, so you can get them communicating with you. You want them to communicate with you, because after you notify them in writing, a text message is writing, if they respond back, that's considered a violation. All right? We call that low-hanging fruit. That's easy money. All right? Can I move on to the next thing, or y'all good on that? If you're good, top, I'm good on that in the chat. Cool.
So that right there, Joe, what you had in the phone, what was that again for the you told them to, what was that part in the phone
So
again?
this is the refusal to pay. So
Okay.
if they type the word debt in,
Okay.
and a debt collector respond, and you respond back with this phrase, I refuse to pay the debt,
Okay.
their next attempt trying to collect is a violation of 15 USC 1692 CC. We don't have to tell them, I don't know you, I demand verification. You don't have to do all that. All you have to do was send them a simple phrase. If they attempt to try to collect, like True Court did down here, that's a violation, and you can sue. Easy money. All right. Phone calls. Let's keep it moving. Because Wanzo, he know I'm long with it. I'll be on all night.
No,
We
don't
can
do them
ask
all
questions
night,
at the
man.
end.
Yeah, there's questions at
Okay.
there's questions at the end,
We're
Love.
gonna
So
do the
just write
questions
down
at the
whatever
end.
questions you have.
All right. I'm getting phone calls, Joe. I always duck them phone calls out. We're going to help you tonight. Do you know that you can dispute over the phone without sending a letter? How can I dispute over the phone without sending a letter? Well, let me show you the page we're on. We're under 15 USC 1692E, subsection 8. So we call this the E8 strategy. All right. Communicating or threatening to communicate to any person information which is known to be false, including the failure to communicate a disputed debt, is disputed. Joe, what did that mean? If I call over the phone, let me get a volunteer real quick. I'm going to show you guys how you answer the phone call. Let me get a volunteer. Somebody want to volunteer? You can just... Kim, come on. Kim, come on.
Hey, Joe.
Kim,
Hey, what's poppin'?
you want to be the creditor or the debt collector? Which one you want to be?
Let me be the creditor.
All right, so you're gonna call me. So you're gonna call my phone. So ring my phone. Ring.
Ray.
Hi, this is Residual Joe. How can I help you?
Hey, is Residual Joe there?
This is Residual Joe. How can I help you?
Hey, is this Joe at your address at 156 2235 B Street.
Yeah, yes, that's my address. How can I help you?
Okay, well, I just need to notify you that it's being recorded.
Okay.
Now I'm calling you about this plug you ran off on at Citibank for about
Okay.
$1,200. You want to go ahead and pay
Twelve
that
hundred
with me
dollars.
today, Joe?
$1,200. That
Yeah.
balance seems a little high. The most I should owe is $500.
Uh, no, Joe, it's $1,200 here. I can take it right here by your Visa, right? You can pay me by Zelle. Like, how you want to pay it today, Joe?
Well, I'm at work right now, and I think my boss is coming. I gotta kind of go. Thank
Joe,
you.
Joe, don't do
Hang your
that.
phone up.
Jo-
Hang your phone up.
Come on now,
So,
Joe.
what did I just do? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys. Because the word dispute is not defined under the FDCPA, it means to call into question. She said the balance is 1,200. I said the balance is 500. That's a dispute, to call into question. If I go to my credit report or my credit karma in 30 days, and that item is not marked as disputed, that's a violation and I can sue against. Did you guys just hear that? I don't have to do round after round after round. I pick the phone up, and if they don't mark it as disputed, like the remarks will say down here, on the next update, that's a violation. I got you. I can sue.
So you're basically saying if they don't have the word dispute after you put in an initial complaint about this account, that's a violation and they can actually be sued for that?
So I want to dispute without saying the word dispute. I want to
Right.
call into question the balance. If I call into question the balance and they don't do their job, which is marked as disputed, that's considered a violation.
Well, let me throw this at you real quick, Joe. During the course of communicating with these debt collectors, so to speak, should they even have a conversation with these debt collectors at all?
You want to get paid? Why not?
Okay.
If you tell them cease and desist, don't call me, how are you going to get paid?
Okay. I just know it's different strategies for different things, and I know you have been very successful with some of the things that you're doing. So I am a sponge right now as I'm learning along with everybody else. So I just thought maybe I'll get my question in before you get bombarded at the end.
So let me ask you guys this question, right? If I deny them and I say, call me or send me verification in the mail, right? How is that going to get me paid? Everything I do is to get me paid, get the debt waived, get it removed. That's the whole strategy. Get it paid, get it removed, right? Let's say a client comes to you and they've already disputed the debt. We're going to send them a letter asking them to remove the remarks. Let me know if you guys got your pen and paper ready. I no longer wish to question the completeness and or accuracy of this account. Please remove all remarks related to this account. We call that the reverse EA. So by them removing the remarks, I'm going to send this to the debt collector and TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. If it's not removed on the next update, that's a violation. Why? Because E8 is a two-part question. Communicating or threatening to communicate, which is known to be false.
Greg, you didn't get no water?
I'm gonna give you my including the failure to communicate that a disputed debt is disputed. So This is the second part. If I tell you I no longer want to dispute it, you have to remove it. Like if you're applying for a mortgage, you can't have remarks on your account. It's a violation if you don't remove it. Drop a one in the chat if you follow me close so far. Debt collection letters. We get these all the time. Well, people get these all the time. The letters look like this. This person has 73,000. You can respond back with this with a I refuse to pay the debt. All right. Let's keep going. Pre-arbitration demand. Oh man, we're going into the bag a little bit. Let's get a little bit more advanced. What is arbitration? Arbitration is a third-party entity similar to court. Let me pull it up real quick. All right. You guys can see it, right? You sure y'all woke? All right, make sure y'all still there. Arbitration. Let's say I send out a dispute letter, regular dispute letter, and there are inaccuracies on the report. Say, for example, it's 30 days, 60 days, no data, no data. And they don't update it. And you might not be ready to sue yet. Well, we can send something called a pre-arbitration demand letter. In a lot of credit card agreements, such as like this one in Truist, they tell you guys, hey, you can go to arbitration. This is how we write. So this is just one on Truist Bank. And it says, parties agree in good faith to resolve a dispute in arbitration. What's the dispute? If you got an issue with something that's going on with your credit report, that's considered a dispute. Instead of you CFPBing it to death, maybe, you can write a pre-arbitration demand letter. In this letter, we're talking about subsection 1681 S2B. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. I forgot to pull this up because I don't want you guys to miss this one. Probably. All right. So we're in a Fair Credit Reporting Act. You're going to go to page 95. Write 95 in the chat because I know a lot of you guys are not going to remember it. So you're going to go to page 95. Somebody write page 95 in the chat for me. 95, 96. And I'm going to be so quick and show you guys how much money is on these reports. It's going to make your head spin. So we're under, let me write in the chat. 15 USC 1681 S2B. That's the section. They have what's called 5 statutory requirements. I want you to write 5 requirements in the chat. A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? So you got A, B, C, D, and E. What do they have to do? Conduct investigation, review, report the information. If the information is not accurate, they must delete it. So each violation is up to 1,000. So that's up to 1,000, up to 1,000, up to 1,000, up to 1,000, up to 1,000. So that's up to 5,000. If they fail to do a reasonable investigation, can that be negligence? Yes, it can be. So that's section N. They have 5 statutory requirements, and that's up to 5K2. Willful noncompliance, section O. They have 5 statutory requirements. A, B, C, D, and E. If they fail to do that, that's another 5K. So you could do one round and possibly looking at up to 15,000 in damages.
Hey Joe, let me jump in for a second. So when you're doing these rounds and you actually get these debt collectors caught up in this dispute process and able to sue them,
No,
what,
we on the FCRA right now. So, I mean, it can go either way, but I mean, they can fall under, but go
I'm
ahead.
just curious, what's the turnaround with this? Like, how long does this process take once you get one of these violations? What's the normal turnaround?
So, debt collect it's court. How long do court take? Sometimes if it's a debt collector and we draft it, now take nothing but a day to draft it. We might get a pre-answer settlement in 21 days with a debt collector. FCRA cases, they're going to take months. I'm not even going to lie about that. A debt collector, if I filed a debt collector in federal court, let me give you an example. Let's say I got a refusal to pay tax, right? Let's say I got a text like this. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right. This don't take nothing but a day to write. This is just the detail. We can write that in a day, the details, you know. The refusal to pay, we write what happened, boom, the facts. All this can be done. The client can do this on their own in a day. I'm going to say that. All right. So let me just give y'all the guys a peek, right? So this is a person out of Georgia, and they said it's cool, Joe, you can use a complaint. They sued to a court, just like right here. And this was like a lawsuit. A lot of people say they sue debt collectors, but can't really write lawsuits. So that's just a sample of like what a lawsuit looks like. Does that explain your question, Wanzo?
It did. I just wanted to give the people understanding, what type of time limit that we're looking at and how to strategize when they're actually obtaining this information and using it against the opposing party. So just to give them a little insight on that. So I appreciate you taking out the time to show them that.
Cool. So let me get back to the pre-demand letter, right? So if they got a pre-demand letter and under section, oh, that's not that. we're in the S2B, so they failed to mark it as disputed, right? Instead of us, waiting for court, we're going to send this notice to them. Here's the notice. I submitted my dispute to TransUnion. I sent the dispute. They falsely verified it. I reviewed my credit report. They didn't mark it as disputed. This is game right here. What does that mean? The date it was issued was 2/23/23, right? The last time it was updated was 1/20/2020. Failed to update. Look at the remarks. Purchased by another lender. They failed to mark it as disputed. By not being marked as disputed, it adversely affected my credit score. Let me break that down in another terminology. If I'm a lender and I see WebBank Geddington on a credit report, I don't know that you're fighting this case, but if it says under investigation, they might know that, okay, this might be an error. So it's a famous case, Terry Hinkle versus Midland. She talks about situations like this. So looking at the reports, that's a gem. If they don't mark it as disputed, that's a S2B violation, like we were talking about here. All right. Getting back to the letter. We listed some of the violations. They didn't conduct an investigation. Same thing we seen on the S2B. They didn't review the relevant information. A violation is not enough to sue upon. We need to prove damages. How do we prove damages, Joe? We need to prove that because of this inaccuracy or your mistake, I was hurt. So the easiest way to prove damages is really apply for something and get denied. Anybody can get denied for something. You can go out here and apply for a Rolls Royce. I don't know. You can go out here and apply for a black card. You need a denial letter. You might have not been approved for an interest rate on a car, and now your interest rate is high. Out-of-pocket expenses, credit monitor. All these are what we call tangible damages. Intangible damages, I was sad, emotionally I was upset, I was hurt, stuff like that. So you can take this letter and kind of chop it up however you want. Send it to the bank if it has an arbitration agreement. BB&T used to be Truist. After you get your violation or after they don't mark it as disputed. And this will get them on the phone and or possibly to remove the remarks, not the remarks, the account from the credit report. Why? Because you got them in a violation. You sent the dispute letter. They didn't mark it as disputed. And now you got them in a violation. Just like here. I sent the dispute letter. I asked them for completeness and accuracy about the account. They didn't mark it as disputed. I drafted a pre-arbitration demand letter. You can upload it through the CFPB as well. Now I'm telling them, hey, I got a violation. You need to remove this, or my next step could possibly be litigation. But this is more of a threat, just to get the account removed. Credit card debt. Nobody's paying their credit card bills anymore. It's a fact. It's the highest it's been in more than a decade. Things happen. COVID happened. Sometimes people get sick. You could lose your job. A lot of things happen. What do we do when we get sued? Well, we got to be able to fight back. All right. How do we fight back, Joe? We on Wanzo call, so I gotta bring the sauce for my man.
What you got?
You know, we gotta bring the sauce for him, so Wanzo. We don't show this a lot. This is like exclusive stuff, man.
So tell them to pay attention, man. If ain't nobody paying their credit
We only
card
got
debt.
about 5 more minutes. I'm taking some questions, then I'm out of here. They better pay attention tonight. If y'all, if they not in Wanzo community, Wanzo, make sure they take a minute to join us, because they might not ever get this again, Wanzo.
Hey, well, I'm just telling you guys, I brought one of the best guys in the business in regards to teaching you guys on how to get
I'm telling you,
how to make this
make
happen,
sure y'all take
and
the
how to
time.
win and make money at the same time. So I want you guys to pay attention, because I can teach you how to get money. I can teach you about credit. Darren can teach you about credit. Brad can teach you about digital marketing, and we have Residual Joe right here to teach you how to sue and get paid for it. So please pay attention.
Things happen sometime in life. Sometime, what's the term? Life be life in sometime. Things happen. People have divorces. Sometimes you got an unforeseen medical expense. Things just happen sometime. And sometimes you get hit with that lawsuit. And ignoring it is not an option. But answering it is an option. How do we answer a summons? Well, a lot of these corporations, what they do is called securitization. And what I mean by that is, like in a mortgage, they might grab a group of debts or grab a mortgages and bundle them up and put them on the stock market for profit. A lot of commercial banks tend to do that, right?
Wait. Let's rewind right here. What'd you just say? They doing what now? They gathering this debt to put it on the stock market and selling it?
It's called securitization. So
No, I'm just
let
making
me
sure I
explain
heard
it
you
to you,
correct.
right?
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's called securitization, right? They might gather the debts, sell them like as a book on the stock market so their shareholders can get a profit. I'm going to go back and break this down, the complaint. How sometimes people are suing you, but we don't really know the real party of interest. Let's say, for example, the person that's suing us is Velocity LLC. Okay? Velocity is suing us, but Lending Club owned the debt. Somebody talking. Let me see.
Brad, can you mute him? If you can see him. Thank you. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. So in this lawsuit, the defendant entered into a loan agreement with the original creditor and or any assignee that may have entered and or had the defendant loan account and or interest and or obligation to such. Plaintiff Velocity LLC is now the owner thereof. So the question is, who owns this debt? Who really owns it? Does Lending Club own it still? Does Velocity own it? I need to know who has what's called standing and the real party of interest that can sue me. If you don't have standing, you can't sue me. Let me show you guys how we answer this. And I'm going to go through it real quick, but I want you guys to just be knowledgeable of what's going on. Paragraph 1. Answer 1. So this is what we're doing. We have to go down and answer each allegation line for line. Paragraph 1, denied plaintiff lacks knowledge or information to form belief, truth in allegations. Plaintiff is required to produce showing the assigned debt is from the original creditor lending clause. I've seen people get sued with 2 pieces of paper. A paper on the top showing them what the courthouse is, and this paper right here. And they might include a bank statement as well. That's not enough. I need to see the documents. Right? See the documents in the chat. I need to see the documents. What documents do they need to produce? The original agreement. Number 2, I need a valid bill of sale. The assignment agreement. Show me where it was sold. Show me you can really collect. Show me these documents without any glitches or breaks in the chain. The defendant made an application to lending club for a loan. I'm denying that. Show me that you have attached the original contract under the state law. Number
Okay,
4.
Joe, so just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, the right document is what, and the left document is the complaint. So they're gonna
The
make sure
left document is the lawsuit.
Okay.
The right document is us picking it apart. So as the defendant, which is me, right? I'm the defendant.
Okay.
I'm going through this line for line, telling them why each allegation is trash.
Gotcha.
All right. As we go to defenses, or this is basically excuses that I'm using to tell them that, hey, you don't have the right to sue me. You haven't gave enough evidence. You haven't produced enough documents. All right. You haven't produced sufficient documentation. You haven't produced these documents. All right. You haven't produced the breaking chain of title. You haven't given me any of this. You failed to state a claim. No valid contract exists. Because of that, this is a FDCPA violation, because you're trying to collect and you're not really the owner. You're the servicer of it. This is just a little template, just a training guide. But I just wanted to show you guys that it's a lot of ways that these companies are really playing in front of your face. And if you don't know better, you're going to get taken advantage of. And we're all family here. We don't want anybody to get taken advantage of. So
that's right.
That's just a little education, so just because I want to leave some time to take some questions.
Hey, that was fire, Joe. That was fire. I appreciate you taking out the time to educate the community in regards to consumer law and what type of angles we can take in order to fight back and actually win some actual green to put in our pocket. So you guys put a fire emoji in the chat for Joe and give him an applause.
Drop those fire emojis right now, and he gave us the sauce. That's what's up. Drop them right now. Drop them right now.
Listen, guys, I want to tell you something too. I just want to share something with you guys real quick. This Saturday, I am going to be on a podcast with Herman Doss right here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm giving people the opportunity here, right? I only have 7 seats left available. So the first people who want to come, you got to let me know and I can put you on the list, right? I'm going to be doing a live podcast with Herman Doss. I'm going to be covering probably some of the business credit in addition to how to invest in real estate without putting in how to acquire real estate without it reporting to your personal or business credit. So if in fact you are actually in the local Atlanta area, please reach out to me. Just send me a DM in my chat or Brad, what is the best way they should do this? Let's figure it out, because I don't know how many
I'm
people want to come
gonna be in
to.
Atlanta too, man. I need to go pack. I'm flying out in the morning or so. I'm gonna be out there
You coming with
tomorrow.
Herman?
Yeah, I'll be out there, man. I'll be out there Saturday. I'm flying tomorrow, so I need to go pack.
Okay, all right. So we'll definitely be in the building, and hopefully some of
Yeah, I'm
my
gonna be in the
mentees
building.
can come as well. So if in fact you guys want to go, just let me know, and I'll Okay, Destiny said, I want to go. I'm going. I want to go. All right. So I got you, Destiny. If anybody else want to go, please just let me know. Just send me a
Everybody
DM.
just text the word podcast to that phone number right there.
Cool.
Text
Thank
the
you,
word
Brad.
podcast right there, and we'll see if you can be one of those 7 people that can grab those seats for sure. And if you haven't already, make sure you join the free community inside and then I just dropped it in the link. I'll drop the link inside the chat one more time for the free group. Like I said, send it out to some friends and family members who want to get some of this sauce. The replay will only be in the community. This will not be for the public. My man Joe don't do this. You feel me? This was for Wanzo right here.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Brad, with all that said, again, Joe, we appreciate you taking out the time out of your busy schedule to educate the community. And from that point, let's start up with the Q&A, Brad.
All right. If everybody don't know what to do, all you got to do is click the react button on the Zoom chat and go ahead and raise your hand. And we'll go ahead and go in that order. That way we can keep it organized. And that way everybody can get a chance to get going. So if you got questions, this is the time to ask Joe before he got to get out of here.
Oh, I don't got no questions. Just
Sips tea.
let me
Nobody
ask
got
you
no
guys this
questions?
question.
All right,
Okay,
we
Is
got.
say.
anybody getting
All right, they
like
starting to come in.
okay.
The Zoom was running a little slow, Joe. Don't worry.
All right. I was almost out of here.
We got Metro PCS on our Zoom, man. Give us a minute.
All right, let's start it off with Alexis. Alexis, you up?
How you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, I have a question. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. I'm kind of already familiar with what you're talking about, and I know people have had great wins with what you're talking about. I did a merchant loan just based on my revenue, and by a company by the name of Mantis, and I have to say I dropped the ball. I didn't follow through when they sent me the lawsuit. But do you do that type of law or only on the credit?
Now, you talking about like merchant cash advance? I don't really do business. I mostly do personal stuff, personal credit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that cash advances. Nah, that's not something I do. So
Okay. Thanks.
All right, before I go to the one and only Kim the Builder, I just dropped the a picture of what the button looked like that says react. It'll be at the bottom of your chat, so you can go ahead and raise your hand if you've never done that before. Okay. I hope that was informative. Kim, let's go.
Hey, Joe. Okay, so I got a quick
going on?
question. So I got a client and they got a letter back from a creditor that said you stated that you wanted us to cease and desist. Is that not the violation then?
So what did you send them, or how did you send them? Like,
I
what was
didn't
your
send
initial
it.
communication?
I was not the initial communicator. They came back
So,
with the letter. So I was just seeing the letter for the first time,
so
right?
they said something either on the phone or sent the letter or somewhere in the speech saying cease and desist. So you got to
Where?
ask that client, what did you send telling them to not contact you or cease and desist?
Okay.
Because that's basically what it's saying. So
Okay. And then can they reach out after that though, or they should not be reaching out at that
they
point,
shouldn't
right?
be reaching out. They shouldn't be reaching out after they sent them a cease and desist notice. No, except for one of the 3 reasons, and that's like to sue them, to tell them they're going to, take further litigation, or they drop the case altogether.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
No.
All right, Tony, let's get it. It's on you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It might be a crazy question, but I want to know: do this apply? Can you apply these laws like mortgages, like when they refinance you, when they send the new letters, like saying they got a new mortgage company that's handling that now?
Nah, that just means somebody else bought it, and that's a new creditor. That's not going to necessarily be a debt collector or something like that. No,
Okay, so okay, but don't apply if you fall behind those new creditors.
no, no.
No. Okay. All right.
All right, Donovan, you up.
All right. Quick question. Let's say you receive, and this is before it hits your credit. Let's say you receive a letter from a credit agency. Let's say that they said that you forgot to pay the tolls on the New Jersey Turnpike, but you're not sure. How do you verify that the creditor
So,
collection
so,
agency? How do we verify?
so tolls don't fall under the FDCPA. The FDCPA only covers personal or household goods. Tolls don't fall under that, but you can call, that Dunning letter and see who does that debt collector. I'm in Maryland. I got a whole bunch of them things,
Gotcha.
all the time, and I can't sue them because if that was the case, I would just go through the toll, wait for the letter to come, and send them my refusal to pay. I would run a cycle through that, but
Gotcha.
that don't fall under that.
But is there a database to verify collection agencies?
Yeah, it's different database. You can go to Open Corpus and look up and see if they're a real debt collection agency or so.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that all the questions y'all got for Residual Joe? I mean, this
Sure.
gentleman is here to actually help you get monetary, value for any violations that you may have. And it's kind of curious. I'm kind of curious because many of us have actual problems with our credit, right? We complain about it all the time, right? And here we are. We have someone on here that can actually tell you not only how to address it, right? Because we can tell you how to address it, but to actually tell you what information you need to actually hold on to help support your case in order to get paid. We're talking about $1,000
And
per
the debt wage.
violation.
You know what's the craziest thing? When we go to federal court, we don't even be arguing over the debt being waived, like being removed from the court, being removed from the credit report. That'd be a given. We be fussing over the 25, 3,500 to start at. If it's an
So
FDC,
so
that's what
basically
we
what
be
you
talking
telling
about money.
so basically what you're telling me, Joe, is this, right? You're basically telling me once you guys enter into the courtroom and you start this process, if in fact you know you're about to win and that actual account is still reporting to their credit report, then it's automatically going to be removed once this is complete. Is that what you're saying?
You're not even going in the courtroom in federal court. Everything's done via email.
Okay. And once
If
that
you're your
process is
client,
complete, then it's automatically
right?
removed.
Part of the settlement agreement, if that's what y'all agree to, whether it's monetary or the account being removed, it's removed usually within 60 to 90 days.
Right. And that would make sense, right? Because if you're paying for something, you're wrong, then you actually have to remove it, right? But what I'm trying
Right.
to do is get this community to understand. Listen, you have a gentleman here. You guys need to ask these questions, right? I'm sure there's plenty of people on here that may have some type of inquiry about their credit.
Let me give them a scenario, Wanzo. Let me give them a scenario that affects your community. Let's say you got a person with a 750 credit score, and they got a 10-year-old LLC,
Mhm.
and they've been trying to get this account off for 3-4 a year. And that's the only thing from stopping you from getting that assignment fee, and you don't know how to take the next step to get that account off. Imagine looking at how much you just got for the guy. 300,000, Wanzo?
I was about to say that.
You
Imagine
got
you ain't set up
300,000. Imagine he had a collection in an LLC and you couldn't get it funded because of that collection was on all 3 reports.
and
And
you ain't
credit
asking
repair
no
just didn't work.
questions.
Come on now. It's rather to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
For sure.
So
Tony?
Joey spitting that game. We got two questions that just popped up. We had Alexis. Alexis, you want to get on here, and then we'll move to you, Tony.
All right.
Yes, so I want to ask another question. So I do have like a BMW that I had that they removed, but they keep putting it back on my account. I've asked them, I sent in the FTC report. I've sent in a letter telling them to show me proof, and they'll take it off for maybe like 3 or 4 months, and then it goes back on there. And then I have some student loans that I also have taken off. And
So
it keep popping back up, so I can't be great because it keep
So
popping back on
so
them.
so Joe, let me jump in there for 1 second, and then
go
you
ahead.
can go and get what you gotta do. So Alexa, right? I want you to
Yes.
understand, right? Whenever something is removed off your credit report, it needs to
Mhm.
be deleted. It can't be blocked. So let me break it down to you what I mean. If in fact something is coming back on your credit report, it was never deleted, it was only blocked. Many a times, if someone's repairing your credit, they repair it in a rapid amount of time, they use an FTC report. A FPTC report, many a times, is giving you the ability to block information and accounts on your credit report until the investigation is completed. Okay.
Okay.
When they feel
Mhm.
that that investigation is completed, therefore, if they come to senses that that was never identity theft, then they have every legal right to put it back on your credit report. Now, if an account is deleted off your credit report, it can never ever be put back on your credit report because it's called reinsertion. Okay. And if someone reinserts search something back on your credit report, it's easily identifiable because all the documentation that you should get and receive from the credit bureaus, you should retain. And you will actually have the date and time of when that was actually recorded and deleted off your credit report. And you take that report and submit it back to that particular credit bureau that placed it back on your credit report and show that it was reinserted. And if they never remove it again, then you reach out to somebody like Residual Joe to show you how to swim and get paid.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
no, Wanzo answered it greater. So the only problem is it can be identity theft and inaccurate. So if you had 12 months of history and you were paying on it, you can't go sue and say you were a victim of identity theft. That's not going to fly.
Does that answer your question, Alexis?
May I answer your
Yes.
question?
Yes.
So
Now
you're
what?
saying you got to think. You're saying that you paid for BMW for 18 months, and now all of a sudden you're saying you were a
Right.
victim of identity theft and it's not yours. That's no attorney's taking that.
And in addition to that, it's easy for them to actually prove that because all they're going to do is trace the payments, and those payments are going to
Yeah.
go back to some type of financial institution you use to make that actual payment.
Okay. Got
All
it.
right.
All right, Tony, you up?
Yeah, I jumped on a little late, so I don't know if I missed it or not. So does this apply to inquiries? I have several inquiries I was trying to get off from TransUnion, and they won't take them off. So does this
And it depends. You can get 5 figures off inquiry if it's legitimately it's not yours. As
okay?
far as like identity theft, if it's yours and like you went to a bank and they ran your credit several times, you know, you can dispute them the regular way. So, and if they don't give
Okay.
you the proper verification of the inaccuracy, then you could possibly sue them. It just depends on how you originally generated the inquiry.
Okay,
If a
gotcha.
debt collector pull your credit, just reach out to me so we can start drafting after we send a dispute off. Because that's crazy work if a debt collector pull your credit. It's just who pulled your credit and why.
Okay, I'll reach out. I'm gonna reach out to you because we're in the same city.
Okay.
Brett,
All right, we got Wilder. You up?
we talking in the dark.
My
Who's Wilder? Can we see her? Nah,
yes. Hold on.
we ain't taking these questions, Brad. We can't see nobody. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go.
My question is, I had a car note that I paid for 5 years. I paid it in advance. I had one late payment, but it's in my credit like unsatisfactory. How can I clear that up?
What do you
Well,
mean it's unsatisfactory? I mean, that might
Like
be a one, but
it's showing, it's not showing in good terms in my credit.
so you have a late payment or
In the
like
5 years, I had one late payment, but the car
okay,
note I paid a year in advance.
okay, so you paid the car off or you paid it in advance, and
Yes,
somewhere in between the 13th month, they saying that you were late, correct?
one late payment. Yeah,
Were you actually late is the question.
I wasn't late when I called for an extension. The guy that took the call, we had a disagreement. And I told him, I didn't like his tone. So I told him I was gonna call back and I was gonna make the payment with the next representative. And he got upset. I felt like I was arguing with one of my friends on the phone. So I hung up the phone. So when I called that day in the afternoon, he had put a note in the system that I needed an extension, and there was an agreement in the system already. So I told the representative I never signed the agreement and that I was calling to make the payment. And I
But but but
guess
but, but were you late? But is it
I
undeniable proof
wasn't
that you
late.
made
I
the
made the
payment?
payment.
So if you got your
so
bank statement show that you paid and they're saying it's inaccurate, that's a lawsuit. But you have to have your bank statement showing that you paid it that day and they're saying that you're not. So once you dispute it, ask for completeness and accuracy, they say no, you didn't. You're saying yes, you did. Then that's a possible lawsuit.
And I have a letter from them that the loan was paid off. But it
Yeah.
shows in my credit as unsatisfactory.
Yeah, just because it's paid off doesn't mean like in between that time you might not miss the payment. So if you have your bank statement showing that, hey, I paid it and this is a mistake on their part, which happens, you have a
So
possible
can I
case.
go back and ask my bank for the statement and reach
it's for
out to you guys?
Yeah, you can if they give it to you.
No, I can go back. It's in the app. I can go back
Yeah.
in the
If you can show
system.
where you made that payment, you had that proof, yes.
All right.
so just to get some clarity, what Joe's want to make sure is that what you're saying is that you may have made a payment, right? But was the payment actually on time,
It
right? Because
was on
what?
time.
Okay, we just want to make sure that part
That
is
was the
clear.
reason why I called, because I wanted an extension.
Okay, all
But
right.
being that he was telling me that if I get the extension, he told me something like at the end of the year, the payment was gonna be just on like on taxes. Like it wasn't really a payment. So I was like, oh hell no, I don't want that agreement. And then for some reason the conversation went sour and I didn't want to make the payment with him and he didn't like
Let me
that.
ask you this question, right? Why didn't you call them and tell them your story and see if they did like a good faith removal from it? What did they say when you called?
I called them, but they said they did they didn't couldn't help me. They just sent me that letter. I have the letter.
Okay, yeah. So if you have your
I
statement
have the
showing you
letter.
made the payment and they didn't, then I mean that's what we have courts for to decide who's right and who's wrong.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Well,
Bye.
All right, Miss Wilder. All right, Darren, what's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? So I wanted to
what's
jump
up?
in real quick and just, get a little break down a little bit on why, because I know you mentioned pre-arbitration. And by the way, that's absolute gems you've been dropping tonight. But why would a creditor want to go and do your pre-arbitration over going all the way through and just doing the arbitration and battling it out with you? Why would they be tending to settle for your pre-arbitration demand that you sent out to them?
Because I'm going by what the terms and agreement say. If the terms and agreement say if you have a dispute, send me a pre-arbitration demand letter 60 days before you file. If you don't follow the terms and agreement of what the contract says, they can use that against you. So if the terms and agreement of the one we showed says before you take it to arbitration, send us a pre-demand. If it don't mention anything about having a pre-demand, then you don't have to necessarily do it. But the pre-demand is just a scare tactic per se to get the account moved and or the account removed, and you know, you might scam into a check. It's a possibility. It's a next step of just doing round after round after round. That's all.
Gotcha. I want to get that clarity so everybody can hear that, because I know a lot of the times people underestimate the power of a simple pre-arbitration demand. And a lot of times it's also a financial issue. You know, they're going to spend quite a bit going to arbitration with you, with just lawyer fees alone. So a lot of times when they're buying these debts that they buy in pennies on the dollar, they much rather just go ahead and settle out real quick and avoid the arbitration process.
Right.
I just wanted to add that in there. I thought that was amazing that you spoke on that.
Darren, if you don't mind, man, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Let them know who you are in the group.
Okay, my apologies, guys. I was having a little technical issues and jumping on, so I didn't get to introduce myself ahead of time. But my name is Darren Crawford. I do all the back end stuff with credit repair. Anything erroneous, derogatory on your report, I'm the guy you talk to about how we can put together a strategy to make sure we can get this off your report as fast as possible, so then you can be eligible to go see Wanzo and get that $300,000 also. So I'm the guy that just basically gets you ready to go see Wanzo. I'll get your credit report fixed up right, so it's looking pretty and attractive for the banks.
Yeah, Darren was a little late as usual, just to let everybody know.
I just thought I went out there, didn't
So
you?
I didn't have the opportunity to share the blessing of Darren being in the community right now. Because when Joe got to talking, it was a wrap. Everybody wanted to tune in. All the frequencies went one way only. You hear me?
Y'all using identity theft as a means for dispute. I don't do credit repair. I'll tell people in a heartbeat, if you need an address removed, a name, I ain't the one. I can't help you. I'm gonna keep it 100. I can't.
Nah, Joe. So if you need to, if you got any individuals that have any credit concerns, things of that nature, right? I've been in the space. Darren is rocking in the space right now. Darren is the guy in our community that actually takes care of a lot of that as I focus on the business funding, because our whole objective is to get you in position to win, right? Even if we can win on both ends, if we can get your credit repaired during the course of getting that repaired and potentially get some money from a lawsuit, bam, there it is. Now that your credit is repaired, you want some money in a lawsuit, now you come see me, right? And I'm gonna show you how to get anywhere from 50,000 up to over $300,000 just for one inquiry, sometimes depending on the situation. So we prepared to win, and then once we get the money, what we want people to be able to understand and digest is, once you get this money, already have an idea of what you're gonna do with the money. Don't go get some money and sit on it. Don't just go get some money and go buy a doggone stupid car, some jewelry, flashing, all that old goofy stuff. Just don't do it, right? Take the money and let the money make money for you. So that's when I'm going to teach you the real estate piece of that. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how you can acquire property with that money. And some of that money that you're going to acquire doesn't take much to get your first property. I can show you how to do what you call a subject to, where you never even put your name on no mortgage documents onto the bank. These are things I can show you how to rob and steal a house for sure. All you gotta do is listen to me. But you have to get yourself in position. Let me give you guys give you an example of something. I had a mentee one time, right? And she was like, well, I want to get in real estate. I want to get in real estate. But she had some on her credit report. Now I'm trying to get the credit part stuff together for her. But she's like, well, you're not talking about real estate. Well, you ain't even got the first part in order. So, excuse me. So even if we was to be able to find you some real estate property, how you gonna get it? So I'm saying all this to say, be patient, understand structure, understand strategy, and put things in order. Don't jump ahead. Don't, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't jump to 4 and think you're gonna make it to 5, because 1, 2, and 3 gonna jam you up. If your foundation is not solid, your structure is gonna fall. I'm just telling you that. So I just wanted to share that, guys, with you, right? Because now you have all the mechanics and all the components that you need to be successful. Even if you have to go to arbitration to sue somebody, you got somebody right here, Residual Joe. He can help you. Brad can help you with the marketing. I can help you with the bag. I'm always about the bag, by the way. And Darren can help you with the credit. And we got Residual Joe to help you with other things, right? With the lawsuits. So what else do you need? What else do you need? Somebody please tell me, what else do you need?
All the I'm gonna tell you, Wanzo, what they need
right here.
Wanzo, I'm gonna tell you what they need though, and then I gotta Greg go.
Yeah.
Take the education that Wanzo's giving you guys and learn how to leverage that funding. When it comes to me, it's always a sad story. Joe, I didn't know. Joe this, Joe that. And that's fine. But follow Wanzo, join this community so you can get that proper guidance, so you can get that house, you can get that real estate, you can get that business that you want, and have proper guidance. Because once it comes to me, it's Joe, this happened, it's a sad story. Now I got to get you out the sad story. And that's it, man. I don't have anything else, though.
Well, I don't want to hold you any longer, Joe. We appreciate you. Please
We
drop some
did
fire
have
in
two
the
more questions. I didn't mean to interrupt. We do got two
Oh
more
my
questions.
God.
Joe, you
Oh, we
down?
got two more? All right, come. All right,
Down? All
let's
right,
wrap it up.
cool. Donovan
Wrap
and
it up.
DJ Jeff, y'all yeah, DJ, yeah, that's
Last
DJ,
two.
yeah, whatever that is. I'm
They're the
sorry
la-
about if I
they're
said
the
that
last
wrong.
two, Brad.
All right, Donovan Smith, you up?
All right. Let me turn the camera. I just wanted to kind of share my experience with this community. I met with Darren. I got a call, and he gave me a second strategy on how to move some inquiries. I thought I could do this by myself, but there's so much benefit that you get from this community right here, as long as you're willing to do the work and plug yourself in. And also Wanzo, you know, one day he came in, he dropped the gem in terms of, you know, Amherst card, a business card, and I went ahead and executed. I was able to get a great line of on my credit card for 18 months, 0% interest. So what I'm kind of sharing and plug is that we have to show up every Thursday at 7 o'clock, because you just never know who Wanzo is going to bring to the space right here. There's so much gem, and sometimes it's like a case study right here, meaning that you can learn from other people's experience. You may not be experienced at this point, but the information and question that is shared within this community could really, you know, change the situation. So I just wanted to kind of give that plug right here to this community as it grows and it expands, but just to, you know, make sure you check in and watch the messages and contribute. I think that we could all win together. That's it.
We appreciate you,
Well,
Mr. Smith, as always. The winner of the mentorship valued at $5,000 with Wanzo. That's the one who's just speaking to you. DJF, I hope I'm saying that right, man. Is it DJFE or what is it?
No, it's D Jeff.
D
Jeff,
Jeff, man.
man, I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah.
That's
over
me,
the damn.
Effie.
Yeah, nah,
D
it's all
Jeff.
good, man. Yeah, so this is my first time on here. I had seen Wanzo in a video with the Haitian CEO, and he actually helped me get a collection off, man, with the CFPB play. And
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you, man. It actually worked, man. I ain't believe it actually worked. But the question I actually had is it's like I've been working on my credit for quite some time, and I just got like two things on there that I've been trying to knock off before I could like go after that business funding. Um, I'm trying to see if I'm able to sue for this or not. So I have a closed account, and it said it closed like October of 2023. But
D
for,
Jeff, give me
yeah,
1 second. Sorry, a minute, pause.
uh,
Residual Joe, you gotta go, bro. We don't want to hold you. We're just gonna finish this last question. You good?
Yeah. I'm gonna take this last question. I'm gonna get off here. So
Okay, all right. Because I didn't know if it
yeah,
was for
I'm
you or
good.
it was for us, because it sounds like it's a credit question, so it's all good. All right, sorry, D Jeff. Go ahead.
yeah. So after the October of 2023, they kept on giving me like a late payment on my credit report. So I'm trying to see if that's something that's like, because to me that's a violation. So is that something I could like end up suing for?
Close the account, or
Yeah,
what do
it's a
you mean?
close. Yeah, it's like if I go on my report now, it'll say that it was closed on October like of 23. But after that, they still kept on giving me late payments like on January of 2024 till like March.
What did your dispute letter say?
Well, I wrote that how is it that they still it's still marking late on my report after the account was closed?
Did they have an arbitration agreement?
Nah, not that I know of.
What's the company?
It's Synchrony Bank, Brandsmart. Because I had paid it off. It was paid as agreed or something like that.
I believe Synchrony has one, but I would check that. You had to reach out to me, put my email in here.
Okay, appreciate that.
Yeah, and just to throw a little gems on there, you can always go to the CFPB. If you Google CFPB database, you can pull up a lot of these credit card agreements that are in there, and you can kind of read through these credit card agreements and see if they have an arbitration clause. A lot of them do. You know, some of them don't, like Navy Federal. You know, they don't have arbitration agreement, but a lot of these banks will have a credit card agreement, and then they'll have some type of arbitration agreement inside the credit card agreement, and you can get that from the CFPB database if you Google that and type in that particular creditor's name, and you can look that information up.
Appreciate that. Now with the credit, no, now that I got you right here real quick. Now with the credit, I've been I had some late payments on the mortgage. On TransUnion, it got deleted, but I still got it on my Equifax and Experian. So am I able to like use the fact that it's not on TransUnion to try to get it knocked off?
All three credit bureaus are supposed to be reporting the same accurate information, you know, right? But you got three different individual companies going to one source to collect their information. And so now TransUnion is saying, all right, cool, he's not late, but Equifax and Experian is saying that you are, you know, and that's something that you can use against each other. You know what I mean? Because again, 15 USC 1681 congressional findings states that you're supposed to report accurate information. So somebody's lying there. And you can use them against each other in your dispute and show that TransUnion is showing that there's no late payments, but Equifax and Experian is.
Yeah, I've been trying it, but they ain't been taking it off. It's like that's been like it's just those two things that's getting in my way of going after the funding, you know.
Okay.
So
Brad, did you put a link in the chat so that anybody can book a call?
Yeah, I went ahead and dropped that. I'll drop it right now. Again, everybody, it's a book a one-on-one call with Wanzo here. That's all you need to do is go to that link and book a call, and we'll get you guys taken care of, man.
All right, cool.
and
Yeah, book
then you
a
have
call.
the
We can make a game plan with you.
and then you also have the ability to reach out to Residual Joe for any type of particular
Oh, hold on. Let me drop my link. So before I get out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate that.
If y'all want to take it to the next level, learn how to sue. That's my community. Residual Joe. Reach out to me.
Get that ASAP.
Wanzo, appreciate you.
No doubt, man. You know what it is.
Friday, though, man.
We all gonna grow together and go together. Hey guys, listen, because Joe, I don't know what time you get in here tomorrow. FYI, right? Saturday is the podcast for sure, okay? But if in fact you guys don't have the ability to make it to the podcast, because I only got 7 seats available and the whole thing's already sold out, right? Tomorrow, I just got a flyer knowing that me, Herman, and a couple other people are going to be at Prime Cigar Lounge at let me see.
How far is that from the venue? You know?
That's not far at all. You'll be good. No, it is
All
far.
right.
I'm lying. I swear to God, I'm lying.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see. That shit's a hump. What time? Okay. 7 to 10 tomorrow. So meet and greet. All right. So I will be there for sure, along with the other crew of people that's going to be there. So if you guys want to pull up, you know, network, I would advise you to pull up just to network, get around some people and make some moves and introduce yourself. Okay. And then the people that's going to make it to the podcast, I will reach out to you guys and let you know. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Residual Joe. We appreciate you more ways than one. We look forward to having you back on here very soon. And if you guys actually reach out to Residual Joe to do any work for him, please drop the gems. Let us know how it worked out. And we will share that information with the Monster community. We appreciate you. All right. And that's always how you do it. You do it the Wanzo way. Take your mics off. Say thank you. Everybody have a good night. You can take your mics off now.
Joe.
Take it off your
Thank
hand.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yo,
thank
guys.
you, Joe.
Thank you.
Peace.
And
Thank you.
everybody who's still on here, make sure you drop the gems in the community. Do not forget, drop all the gems you learned in the community. We'll see you soon. Let's go.